to our next vlog on self-care and how to gain a healthier, happier version of you. I'm Sophie from Trident Wellbeing and I'm a mind and wellbeing coach, author, martial art instructor and personal trainer. In this series I'm focusing on weight loss with tools and practices that you can all do quickly and easily. If you require a little bit more help, there is my course on the website and the first session is free. For more tips, information and tricks to rewire your health, just click on the links below and subscribe by pressing the subscribe button. Don't forget to press the bell so that you know when next week's tips are uploaded, and be sure to watch for the fun interruption. This week I'd like to address one of the issues that was brought to my attention regarding food and why it was hard for some clients to keep on track with healthy, good intentions. And believe it or not, it was taste. This came as a surprise to me, as in this day and age I figured we could pretty much find anything tasty and healthy. But then I realised that maybe some people find it harder because they become accustomed to certain types of foods. For example, those that were brought up on pasta, and I have to say there was a lot of that in my house too, it was quite difficult to then substitute in meat and 3 veg, like how I was brought up. In fact, one of my daughters will totally cringe at the mere suggestion of this meal. So I guess that one's on me. I'm living and learning as well. What then do we do if we have developed certain habits and certain taste preferences? So we discussed cravings last week, but this is not what I'm referring to today. What I'm trying to get us to notice today is that we have certain tastes and preferences, and unless we address those, we won't be able to change them. For example, if you're a person that really likes deep fried food and has been eating it several times a week for years, it can be a hard habit to break. Perhaps you were brought up on meats and veggies that were cooked to death, and these actually became your favourite. Yeah, I know it can be hard to imagine, but I literally have heard my relatives proclaiming how they really like their salty, soggy, overcooked vegetables like Mum used to make.
Oh my God. Gross.
That obviously wasn't quite how they described it. Their words were more along the line of,
That is the best pizza in Denver. Let's get that right.
I really like how Mum cooked them with salt and butter, and they weren't as hard as those ones that we're having now in this particular restaurant. These have then become favourites. And when we really like something, we like to repeat it. We like to repeat the taste and possibly even the experience. I could see that both of these uncles really liked their soggy veggies. They were reminiscing over meals long gone when at least 10 of the members of the family or more were gathered around the table. So the point of today's vlog is not to remove any of those memories, but rather to recognise that we have favourite foods, we've established neural pathways, that we want to repeat those experiences and again partake in meals that may be less than optimum. Another issue with food and taste can be the opposite. We associate any meal with a particular experience. Do you have that thing that you think of that is always cooked in the same way? For me, it was Brussels sprouts. And in my family, they were always boiled and they were hard and they tasted horrible. And I know someone who feels the same way about cabbage. No matter how these are cooked, as soon as we hear that that particular food is coming, we're instantly turned off the meal. I used to not choose a beautiful meal in a restaurant if at the end of all the delicacies I could see that Brussels sprouts were included. So we have taste and we have memories, and together these can be quite detrimental. So the question is, what do we do? So tip number 1, we all know that the mind is quite plastic, and that's a good thing. It means that we can change to how we view a particular food and how we experience it. This may not happen instantly, but with practice we can associate certain meals with different experiences. So today I want you to change one thing about how you view a particular food. Just choose one food to start with. Imagine a food that you know is not healthy or that could be presented healthier. Now think about the times you had that food. What do you notice about the environment about you? How do you feel? Who's there? What do you hear? Can you smell anything? I want you to really invest in this situation and then change some of the foods that you might have in your mind. For example, if you're at the table and there's lots of bread and pasta, which in the past you ate most of, now I want you to notice what else was presented. Were there salads? Were there vegetables? Were there soups? See the foods that were there and perhaps that you ignored in the past, and now focus on the environment. Imagine you're eating more of the healthier foods. What are you noticing? Do you feel healthier by changing your choices? Can you imagine eating less desserts or more fruit than cake or skipping the cream? Can you see the soggy veggies that you had in the past, but notice there's also crisp salads? You like the crispness of the salad, so maybe you can change how you would view the veggies and notice that if they were crisper, they'd be nicer too. I want you to reframe your experience of a certain type of food and expand it to other foods in that same experience. I want you to see yourself making different choices and notice how you're feeling healthier. Tip 2. The second tip is that you are changing your experience with food. But what about those foods that have a blah taste, like my Brussels sprouts? For those, I have an even simpler antidote. Change the whole experience of the food. Chop it smaller, mix it with herbs, or, like my friends do, blend it into a sauce so you don't even notice it. This last tip is physically changing the food so it resembles nothing in your memory. But by creating a new taste, we're developing a new sensation associated with that food. Soon you won't think of that meal having those tastes that you dislike. You won't associate really crispy veggies as horrible. In fact, you'll like them as the extra herbs create new cravings. But these are 2 really easy tips to help you change your experience with taste so that you can channel your eating in a healthier, durable way. This means that soon you'll be eating less of those unhealthy things, even when they're presented to you, because you'll see more of the healthier choices as being a delicious option. And for those foods that you know that are healthy but are loath to eat, you can now change their presentation so the mere thought of them will no longer make you gag. After all, a Brussels sprout doesn't always have to appear as one of those hard, bland fart balls. So this week, have some fun changing your experience around food and physically changing their taste, and notice how you're now eating better and less of the unhealthy options. I look forward to hearing how this works for you. Until next time, I'm sending you much love.